Welcome to our second release of Math Bites, a series where we present quick and fun math problems. In today's video, we present to you a fun problem that's harder than it seems. Our good friends have deemed that tic-tac-toe is way too easy, so they've designed a new variant of tic-tac-toe called Tic-Tac-Toe 2.0. The rules of this game are simple. On an infinite board, two players take turns placing pieces until one of them is able to connect four of their own pieces horizontally, vertically, or diagonally, in which case they win the game. The question is, who has the winning strategy, the first player or the second player? I'll give you a while to think about it. The answer is that the first person always has a winning strategy. Firstly, notice that in order to solve this problem, we need to limit the moves that the second player could respond with. So, for simplification, after the first move, we'll split this into three cases. 1. When the second player places an X adjacent to the first O, when they place their piece diagonal to the first piece, and when they place their piece anywhere else. We'll start with our first case, when player 2 places an X adjacent to the first piece. First of all, it doesn't matter which of the four sides it's placed on, due to symmetry. We'll suppose it's to the right, just because. In this position, how should player 1 respond to win? There's tons of ways to win, and I'll show you one possibility. If player 1 places an O here, then player 2 has to block player 1's 2 in a row, because if they don't, the first player gets a row of 3 O's that isn't defendable and therefore easily wins. After player 2 blocks, player 1 now forms this L shape of O's. Now, no matter where player 2 defends, player 1 will always be able to form a 3 in a row and then easily win. Now for a second case, when player 2 places their X diagonal to our first piece. The simplest winning move for player 1 is to place their O 2 squares away from their first move as such. Note that player 2 has to put their X in between, otherwise player 1 gets a 3 in a row that can't be defended. After player 2 makes their move, player 1 forms a V shape. This V shape can't be defended. No matter where player 2 blocks, player 1 will always be able to create a 3 in a row and subsequently win. There is something to be careful of though. If player 2 threatens a 4 in a row by placing an X here, it's necessary to first block their move before setting up the V shape. But in either case, player 1 still wins. Our last case is that player 2 puts their X somewhere else. Note that we only need to take into account moves that are relatively close to our first O, as shown here. Everything else will be too far to actually have an effect on our game if we play smart. Using symmetry, we can split these types of moves into three subcases: red, yellow, and green. Red and green are really easy to win, so you can check those for yourself. I'll go over the yellow one, which is a little bit trickier. If they place their piece on a yellow square, the only fast way to win is to construct a 2 in a row as shown. They must block, and we can once again construct an L piece, which, as we've discussed before, ensures that we win no matter what the opponent does. Therefore, since in all cases we can win as player 1, the first player always has a winning strategy, no matter what the second player does. Thanks for watching.